Today we're multiplying and dividing real numbers. When we're multiplying numbers with the same sign, the product of two positive numbers or two negative numbers is always positive. So positive 2 times positive 2 equals positive 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 equals positive 4. When we're multiplying numbers with different signs, the product of a positive and a negative number or a negative and a positive number is always a negative. For example, 3 times negative 6 is negative 18, and negative 3 times 6 is also negative 18. We can use Mr. Dorito to remind us of the rule for multiplying integers. So if we have negative 2 times 3. If we have a negative times a positive, and we cover the negative and we cover the positive sign of Mr. Dorito, what are we left with? Negative. That means our answer will be negative. If we have a negative 4 times a negative 8, and we cover both negative signs, what are we left with? Positive. And Mr. Dorito helps us remember that a negative times a negative equals a positive. If we have positive 10 times negative 5, what do we need to cover? The positive and the negative. What are we left with? Negative. That means our answer is negative 50. If we have to evaluate negative 2 times x times y, where x is equal to negative 20 and y is equal to negative 3, what do we have to do first? Substitute. Negative 2 times negative 20 times negative 3. Now, for multiplying, does it matter the order in which we multiply? Negative 20 times negative 2. Positive 40 times negative 3. 40 times negative 3 would be negative 120. Notice how my first two negatives gave me a positive answer, and then the positive times a negative equals a negative. Okay. So, stemming from here, let's say we have to simplify. Let's say we have to simplify negative 3 to the 4th power and negative 3 to the 4th power. We have to simplify both of these. Right here, the exponent 4 belongs to the base 3. This means negative times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. In this case, exponent 4 belongs to the base negative 3. This means negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. If we work each of these out, we've got our negative right here. We're not forgetting about it. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. Bring down our negative sign. So we've got negative times 9 times 9. Negative 81. In this second problem, negative 3 times negative 3 equals positive 9. Negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. Our answer is a positive 81. When we are dividing numbers with the same sign, the quotient of two positive or two negative numbers is always positive. For example, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2. So it's exactly the same rule as with multiplication, right? When you're multiplying two positives, it equals a positive. When you're multiplying two negatives, it equals a positive. Same thing for division. When you're dividing two positives, it equals a positive. When you're dividing two negatives, it equals a positive. When we're dividing numbers with different signs, the quotient of a positive and a negative number, or the quotient of a negative and a positive number, is always negative. For example, negative 4 divided by 2 is equal to negative 2, and 4 divided by negative 2 is equal to negative 2. When we're dividing integers, we can also use the little. So let's say we have negative 10 divided by negative 2. We cover both our negative numbers, and what is left? Both are negative signs, and we're left with a positive. So negative 10 divided by negative 2 equals a positive 5. If we have 25 divided by negative 5, we can cover our positive, and then cover our negative, and what are we left with? Negative. That means our answer will be negative 5. If we have negative 15 divided by positive 3, again we can cover our negative and our positive, and that means we're left with negative 5.